it actually, if you look, I didn't give you that slide, I did it as a snapshot. Actually, we took a look at the districts that are around us in Alameda County, and a large number of them have the 6-period day and the regular day. And those districts, if you look at their students that are proficient, they're higher than the districts that have the block. They're at the bottom when you rank them down. So we do have that data that we can put on the web. So we have taken a look at that. And all the districts that are around us in the Alameda County, the ones that have the block schedule are a modification of that, are on the bottom.
That is in Alameda County, how we got outside of Alameda County for this.
Yes. And there are schools that are similar to us in Southern California. That you look on it, you can go on the California Department of Education's website, and when you click on San Lorenzo, you can look for similar school districts. I'm going to get some questions from the back.
How does that affect the children?
The small learning communities will still exist. They will still be able to manage in either one of those schedules. That's the criteria, because that's one of our essential success factors, and that's a high school reform measure that helps improve, so we're going to keep that. So that's what we're exploring, to make sure that any schedule that we do will be able to maintain the smaller communities. Yes. We are currently moving and expanding to more AB days because of some of the compliance, but the issue with AB days is consistency in instruction. So that means your day off, day on, day off, so you have to catch back up. So that's not always a good thing to do. Anybody knows that consistency is better, because today you might forget, tomorrow, but we have that. We do have that. We are playing around with that. San Lorenzo has that, and now Arroyo has that. For PE. AB, she's saying 1 day on and 1 day off for a class to try to get things in. She's saying, why can't we keep the block schedule and then do some classes, have this class today, not have it tomorrow, so you can fit in some of those other classes. And I was telling her that we have some of that going on now at San Lorenzo and now at Arroyo to meet some of the requirements that we have to make. We just started January 26th. That's why I'm going to take a few more questions, and then I'll let you go and talk to the tables. The principals are there, and they can answer your specific questions. But we do want to capture your opinion so that we can study that when we're going to probe into the districts that have changed. Yes. I think I just had. All right. Go ahead. No problem.
Schedule because the 6-period day didn't work, right? Right? So why are we going back to 7? Is it because of budget crisis and so we could fire or get rid of some of the teachers? Because we are going to lose a lot of teachers because of the 6 or even 7 or even trimester period class schedule. Why are we going back to the 70s when we had a 6-period day back then, when I was a senior, junior, freshman, sophomore? Why are we going back to that when apparently then it didn't work? Can you answer that?
Education cycle. I mean, the schedules have been around. I mean, they've been around. There is data, as I said, that there are districts that are using the 6-period day, and they are doing fine.
We're not seeing the data. We're going back to the 70s.
You can look on the web and you can find districts that have 6-period day and they are functioning well. It depends on the teaching and the adjustments that you do within the school. Can I get you and then him, and then we'll go to the...
I'd just like to know if anything we say tonight matters, or if it's all been made. Look, the majority here, the majority school could care less about the 6-period or a trimester. So where are those people that want a 6-period and trimester? They're not here saying anything for it, correct? So all of us are happy with what we have, like I said.
What did they show up for night?
My child was having problems, and she succeeded in the class.
Sure.
This needs to start in the middle school. I have a child right now that is back in ELA intervention, an 8th grader, from test scores back last spring. Did he have it first semester? No. Why is that? If he needed it, he should have had it first semester and not guitar or Keepers of the Earth or whatever lessons that he was given. It needs to start in the middle school. So when they come here and they do have problems, don't allow them to have these extra electives, ceramics or whatever. Put them back in the programs that are going to help them because she's fine on the block schedule and she's an athlete. And if you take away 2 hard classes, because we've already picked out her classes to go into a UC college, if you take away those last 2 classes from her and she's got 2 AP courses, you're going to stick her right then and there. And that will be for all the student athletes. So you've got to find some compromise in the middle to help a few, because I'm sure it's only a few that need the help, and also promote the ones that are doing well in this system.
And I think you said the compromising word. You have to find a compromise that will help everyone succeed. And in the middle schools, I do supervise middle schools. Middle schools last year started, I think the year before, they did a whole review and they went to 7 periods so that some of the students don't have a level. Excuse me?
They're on AP law.
For some to make the requirements for social studies and science and health. And so many of those students do have the situation that she had. For this year, we're under a self-assessment, looking at the requirements that the state has us to do, and that's why some of the students recently had class changes, because we were out of compliance, so that's why it didn't happen before, and so now we caught that and corrected it, and so that's why we're catching up to what she said. We'll take you, and then we'll go to the table.
So for the lower students, the ELD students, don't you think they would need more time to learn instead of less time?
More time to learn?
Yeah.
Some of the schedules up there do have lengthy time. 60 to 70 minutes of instruction is about the right time.
So an hour and a half,
An hour and a half. What I'm saying to you is that some folks believe that 90 minutes is too long. That the perfect time is between 60 and 70 minutes. That's what some people believe.
I think that's too long. Give the kids a 5 minutes break. If that's what you guys think is that 90 minutes to sit down there and lecture is too long, then maybe a 5 minutes break is going to help them to refocus. Maybe that's something that needs to be considered instead of just changing the block schedule, which looks like it's working.
Can you put, well, the data doesn't show it's working. I showed you some of the numbers. The data doesn't show that it's working. It may be working for your students, but overall it's not working for the district or for the majority of the students by the data.
That's because you're saying they're in there too long and they're getting out of focus. That's what I'm saying, maybe a 5 minutes in between the 90 minutes to refocus might be what's going to help them, right?
They do have breaks now in their schedule. So I want to stop everyone and ask you to please fill out your feedback sheet and give your suggestions. And then go to the tables and you can ask